Welcome to Resource PNG. We begin in Gulf Province, where the Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, EITI, held an awareness on its role in Papua New Guinea. It provided an opportunity for people from the province to air their views on upcoming projects in the extractive industry, more particularly the Papua LNG Project. Sarah Aupong brings us this report.
Last week, the PNG Resource Governance Coalition was in Kerema town for a roadshow on the EITI standards, an international measure to keep the extractive industry transparent and accountable. This roadshow ended the EITI awareness around the country, which was conducted in the 4 regions. The Kerema roadshow was for the southern region. During discussions, the people of Gulf Province raised concerns on the distribution of wealth from large impact projects in the province, especially in the face of poor basic infrastructure and services.
Now, I'll give you an example of a Kerema General Hospital. This, of course, is a referral hospital. But we have influx of people coming in here every day from the surrounding communities. Basically because these are communities where there are 8 posts and where there are supposed to be community health workers, 7 in there. But due to absence of the health workers and due to no drugs in their 8 posts, these people have to come to the hospital, main hospital, to get treatment. And of course, there's been complaints from the workers in the Kerema General Hospital. But what can people do? Are they expected to remain in the rural communities without medicine and die? So almost finding life he come.
Lo place by Muruna, Kikori, it's Delta. Time or mipla finding mo semol man sick no true no supposed to stop lau sick na completely marasinia. All by talk no what kaiken and plug all place. And when they go, all find him difficult lo come back and lau sick now. 6 go big plan now all talk lo TB na HIV/AIDS.
Owen comes from a part of the province that has experience with large-scale logging operations. His experience has left little confidence with the government's capacity to assist landowners.
Because I've been part of that review committee representing the landowners from FMA3 area. And we started the review process in 2008, which was prematurely abandoned. 7 years to now. 2016. And the review process for that principal agreement for Torah for forest industries is 15 years overdue. And I've checked with the Gulf Provincial Forest Office. Nothing's happening. And the Gulf Provincial Forest Management Committee is supposed to be chaired by the provincial administrator. These people have not come to the aid of the people. The people are complaining about this.
Apart from logging, the Gulf Province, especially Kikori, has been part of the Kutubu, Gobe and LNG projects.
With the oil pipeline, we have many experiences of what is lacking in the area. The landowners in the oil project, they benefit from the equity and 2% of equity, which is the free equity from the government. And then there is also infrastructure funds like MOU, MOA funds, who are highly impacted funds that can develop the townships which are impacted by the project. At the current stage, we are just worrying why our townships are not developed, why our townships are not in the better standard that we have these major projects with us.
NEC made some decisions because they realized that these IDG funds or MOE funds were not having any positive impact in the lives of the people. So they asked for the audit of the funds. And after doing the audit, they gave some specific instructions, directives, NEC directives, that there's got to be a wider consultation with the project area landowners in terms of what type of projects they should fund them. What has happened is that projects that are reflected in the UBSA and LBSA have kind of been left on the side. And we have some people who have proposed some projects outside of the UBSA, LBSA. And they've actually, some of them actually got some money and went into constructions. But like I said, these projects have not been fully completed.
Kenneth Korokai has been a community liaison officer with ExxonMobil in the PNG LNG project for the last 6 years.
For the Gulf province here, we have an administration problem. Like I come from Kikori. I have a question like, why I don't have a district manager in my district? Why I don't have a district administrator in my district? Why I don't have a public service functional and functional? Why I'm experiencing this? Because I as a Kikori man, and I have things to share with the government, not the company, but with the government concerning my benefits, my infrastructure developments. So I don't have a field officers next to me that are active.
The law is written in such a way that the government, the district administrators, they are accountable to administrators and the open member, you see. So a person like me, whose responsibility is to oversee the delivery of services to the district, I'm made ineffective, you see. So you see that there is a lack of coordination, there's a communication breakdown, and many district administrators, they are always with the open members. They hardly stay in the districts. And you will also find that the local level government managers, LOG managers as they call, they are always with their presidents. You know, some years back, if the president doesn't perform, people can remove him, councils can remove him. Now you can't remove him.
Ahovo Laepa has been with the Gulf Provincial Administration for all of his public service career and is currently the Deputy Provincial Administrator. With a vast knowledge and experience in the petroleum industry, he says Gulf Province suffer from a lack of trust issues.
To avoid all these suspicions, we need to have effective governance at the political level, administrative level, both at the PHQ and at the district level. What needs to happen is that there's got to be a collective decision of our government giving specific directives to the officers concerned to carry out kind of awarenesses, what topics to cover, whom do they talk to, what will be the outcome of that.
As for direct benefits, as Kenneth explains, for the people of Kikori, it is not making as big of an impact on their day-to-day lives as they expected.
With the cash benefit, yes, slowly we are just receiving, but not experiencing rising of our benefit, but dropping of our benefit. So
what do you mean by that? When you say?
I mean like in the previous days, if we were paid 5,000 kina per clan, and then we dropped again about 3,000 to 4,000 kina per clan. So we have a question with the management. What's happening with our money? Why are we dropping? When our clan chairman receives that money, and then clan chairman shares with the members of the clan. So if the member of the clan is more than 100 kina, we are receiving 10 kina each in the house. So that's the truth, I can say. So we can say that I am a landowner from the oil, I am a landowner from the gas. So the benefit that I receive, that benefit will not really make a difference in our homes.
It is a similar story to that of the logging benefits.
One ILG work before when the operation started, it was okay. Where one ILG where get the premium packages of over 1,000 kina. You coming up now that one you go down. Right now at this point in time, it's only 450 kina per ILG.
But one ILG,
you're talking about 70, 80, even over 100 members in the ILG.
so do you share 100?
Now you're asking me about a problem that we have with a lot of ILG chairmen. Some last have, kissing envelope long this premium. This is hard cash, mind you. Also put him in the pocket and now. So that time all some ILG members he come karai long share long 5 kina 10 kina mina. So this is another problem of no equal benefit sharing.
With talk of the new LNG project in the province, these experiences have made them wary of how the benefits will be shared in the province. Amid the argument of whether or not the gas should be processed within the province, comes the more practical concern of whether or not the benefits to come will be properly administered.
As ordinary citizens of the place, we're also worried about what mechanisms the LNG will create in order to disperse those benefits. Because currently, LNG does not have a reputable reputation of delivering services to the people. None. That's what we're worried about.
Our people, upcoming leaders, maybe our children who are now schooling, they are learning more about what's happening here. So it is the people, they have to change their mentalities.
Every day there are changes taking place. Company work long and government also is behind the company to work long area. And the people responsible for organizing the people at the lower level, where the benefits are going to be ending up, are not doing their part. They are doing a lot of running around in Mosby while the people are sitting there with a lot of their expectations not met.
Stay tuned for more of Resource PNG after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Resource PNG. This month, shareholders of Oil Search were given an update on the performance of the company in 2015. As expected, 2015 was a somewhat mixed year, with the company having to deal with relatively low world oil prices. Oil Search did, however, have highlights. Its largest ever production volume to date in a single year, a testament to the efforts of its staff. Many others in the extractive industry, 2015 has proven to be a challenging year for Oil Search. Low world oil prices have affected the oil and gas industry. However, Oil Search has somewhat managed to keep the effects of these low prices at a minimum, with the company recording its highest ever production numbers in a single year, 29.3 million barrels of oil equivalent, a 50% increase from 2014 figures.
The company's adjusted very well to a low oil price environment. It's been challenging times, but our cost base is competitive across the world. We have one of the lowest break-evens anywhere, certainly in our region. And with the future development of PNG LNG, further development of PNG LNG and the potential development of Papua LNG, I think we're reaching a very critical stage for further investment in this country and continuing operating stability, continuing bringing our communities along with us, continuing to build the capacity of the country and infrastructure and skills of the people here and our staff remains absolutely critical for PNG's largest organisation, which is Oil Search.
These have also allowed Oil Search to continue its community social responsibility programs, particularly through Oil Search Foundation.
You know, one of the things that we recognise is that if you're a community or a landowner in our operating areas, or even outside our operating areas, the expectations of receiving schools, hospitals, roads that work haven't changed with the drop in oil price. And in reality, the sensitivities of our local communities to delivery of services and infrastructure is higher than ever. So the commitment of well over 50 million US of funds to the foundation is part of our commitment to deliver core services, core medical services and infrastructure, some training, a focus on and capacity building, a focus on women's issues, women's empowerment are core to the foundation, and we're very excited to work with our partners to make a real difference to people's lives in PNG, and I think we're doing that. We've decided that we would actually work within the government system, not parachute an Oil Search or Oil Search Foundation system into the hospital, but actually work with the National Department of Health and the people in the NDOH, the people in Department of Personnel Management and the people in Hela Provincial Government, and actually build their capacity. So we're absolutely doing everything from within the government system and empowering people within the hospital, within the different departments to actually help deliver the services in Hela. That makes it sustainable. So if Oil Search pulls out, the government, the department and the hospital itself can stand on its own because we're building the capacity within the hospital itself.
Like many other operators in PNG, Oil Search has also had to do business in a difficult economic space, particularly given the foreign exchange situation.
Most of our business is in US dollars, so our revenue stream is in US dollars. Our cost base is in part US dollars, in part Kina. Now we bring in substantial amounts of foreign currency into the country every month to manage all our Kina costs. So we contribute substantial foreign exchange currency in US dollars into the country each month. Clearly we look at that every month, and we try and do what we can to bring or provide currency into the country system. We're somewhat constrained because we also have debt. We have got big loans to build the PNG LNG project, and those funds remain offshore, and they obviously are US dollars, and the debt is in US dollars. But for our local operations, we bring in currency each month, and we contribute US dollars into that system. Overall, then, we're reasonably comfortable because of our US dollar revenue stream that we can manage FX, and we do what we can to help provide foreign currency into the system here.
So what does the immediate future hold for Oil Search?
There are still substantive growth opportunities for Oil Search and the country in developing further oil and gas resources. There certainly are opportunities in LNG expansion for PNG LNG and further optimisation of what we've built, the potential for developing a Train 3 for PNG LNG, and of course the development of Papua LNG.
You're watching Resource PNG. After the break, industry updates on Resource News. Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's been making headlines within PNG's resource sector. The The Australia PNG Business Forum was held in Cairns this week, and the event provided an opportunity for representatives from the extractive industries to provide an update on their projects. ExxonMobil PNG, Panost and Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited presented at the forum. Falling global commodity prices and opportunities for PNG were highlighted as immediate issues for the industry to deal with.
The Managing Director of ExxonMobil PNG, Andrew Barry, opened the second day of the forum with the resources update. He confirmed that the resource industry is facing challenges of low commodity prices. However, this is not new. Oil, gas and LNG will continue to evolve over time, he says. He touched on the near-term price environment and the long-term expectation of LNG demand.
Despite the current price environment, which may challenge some producers, we certainly believe that natural gas, including liquefied natural gas, has a bright future. That's because global energy demand will continue to grow, and LNG will play a critical role in meeting the world's need for energy to fuel development and opportunity.
He also emphasised ExxonMobil's commitment to the PNG government to work together on innovative solutions to supply domestic gas to improve the capacity and reliability of Papua New Guinea's power network.
We fundamentally believe that one of the greatest multiplier effects for facilitating growth of businesses and improving living standards in the country lies in power generation.
General Manager, Government and Community of Panost, Glenn Connell, presented on CIPIC's Feeder River project. He described the challenges of the project, one of which are commodity prices and the physical and remote location of Feeder River, but he also highlighted the opportunities.
The infrastructure that supports the operations has the potential to open up the region to new economic opportunities, and that's something that we really want to look at in the next little while, is to focus on what potential that infrastructure holds, what's the best solution not only for us but for the region.
Concluding the session was Chairman of Kumul Petroleum Holding Limited, Frank Kramer, who shed some light on the business opportunities being considered by KPHL.
The gas commercialization opportunities are associated with petrochemicals. There is a significant potential for petrochemical development in PNG. That's related to domestic gas that's available for in-country development other than LNG. And to that extent, Kumul Petroleum and Sojits have a current MOU to study potential development for petrochemical industry in PNG. The national government, our national government, as well as the Japanese government, are very supportive of these potential development opportunities, which ultimately will lead to the production of products such as cement, glass, fertilizer, plastics, etc.
Central Bank Governor Loy Bakani also addressed the forum about the current state of PNG's economy. His comments were on the back of the release of BPNG's economic update last week. In it, the bank emphasized the need for exporters to take advantage of the keener depreciation to increase production and exports that would bring in much-needed foreign exchange.
In that economic update released last Friday, Mr. Bakani advised consumers and importers to adjust their consumption patterns and sourcing of imports by buying locally produced goods. This, he says, will reduce demand for foreign exchange and also encourage the development of PNG's local industries. Yesterday, Mr. Bakani addressed the delegates at the 32nd Australia Papua New Guinea Business Forum. As Governor of BPNG, he clarified a few comments, he says, raised by commentators about how BPNG has been managing Papua New Guinea's affairs.
Some of the misrepresented comments by various commentators on some of the things, the way the central bank and the government of Papua New Guinea has been managing the nation's affairs. I think this is important to clarify those things, to put the facts in perspective so that we can all understand, have a level playing field to move on to appreciate what the actions of the central bank and the government are doing.
And of course, Mr. Bakani touched on the current short-term issues, the shortage of foreign exchange reserves and the depreciation of the PNG kina.
The current level of reserves, as we speak, is sufficient for still about 10 months of total imports and 15 months of non-mineral import covers.
The governor also addressed news about the IFC facilities sought by the central bank. He again zeroed in on comments which he says are rumours spread on internet blogs and had this message to say.
The government and the central bank are seeking foreign currency facilities from external sources for budgetary financing and to support the FX. And again, there's news about the IFC facilities, which is still ongoing, work in progress. We're also looking at other facilities to address the issue. So there's rumors going around in blogs and all that about some of these things. I think it's not helping us, not helping the economy in terms of addressing the real issue that the private sector is facing.
We've come to the end of this episode of Resource PNG. If you'd like to get in touch with us, email us on the address now showing on your screen. For all the latest updates on developments within the resource sector in the country, check out our Facebook page. To view this program again online, log on to the MTV website where you will find a link to the Resource PNG page. Until the next time, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.